Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel and welcome to Indoorlands. Now this is a game I've wanted to show off for quite some time. I've been talking about it a lot and to be quite honest I've not had a great deal of experience in it outside of the tutorial. So we're going to jump in, I'm going to talk about the basics of the game and stuff and how it all works, but it's a really cool indoor theme park simulator / management game. So we have three options here for our career. We can go desert, wastelands or Arctic. We're going to pick the desert and develop from there. Now indoor theme parks, now we did have one in near where I live when I was growing up and I loved it and I used to go there all the time. I think it was one of the biggest indoor theme parks in Europe and it was called Metroland. And it was amazing. It had like a roller coaster and all of the kind of classic rides that you would expect to find in a theme park crammed into a very small space indoors. And it was really cool. And Indoorlands kind of scratches that itch. So the way that it works is you have this indoor space and you can only build rides by adding in certain rooms. So at the moment our theme park is closed. You can see up here we start with 500,000 money and our basics are to just get set up. So we have this indoor space here. This is our entrance, so guests will park up here, walk through this outdoor space into our indoor theme park. They'll pay their entrance fees and then the park is theirs to explore. Now you have a number of different things that you need to satisfy your guests with. If we just bring up this little guest tab here, we don't have any visitors at the moment, so we need to open up. But if I just go to my overviews when I find them, we do have a couple of events that we need to get to. And basically when you unlock these events and complete them, these milestones here, you will be able to unlock new things for your park, including new research tiers and things like that. We'll come to that later on. So your park has an attractiveness score, and that is done by decorating your pathways. Indoor here, we have these corridors that we can put in. We can change the colour of the walls and the floor, or we can add specific flooring choices to spruce things up a little bit. We can then add little features in there to really boost the attractiveness rating. Now what I want to do is when they first come in, I want to just expand this entrance area a little bit here. So we get some benches going in there as well, and then we're going to add in a couple of water features. So we're going to put one here and one here. Then we're going to go back to our basic pathways and we're going to put a nice long corridor going all the way up. And we will come back and decorate this, but we need to be very careful with our finances in the early stages of development. I would also like to have this water feature kind of extend so it becomes like a bit of an L shape on either side. So let's actually just put that in now. So we'll go here, here and here as well. So it's a little bit longer on this side. What I might do then is we'll go back, we'll put a basic pathway running all the way up here, and then we have this very long corridor. Now in the middle here, what we'll do is we'll remove this space here. And then there's some smaller facilities and things that we can put in there in the little gap to fill that in with some basic buildings. So along here we've got our popcorn, which we will rotate around. We'll put a popcorn stand there. We'll put a slush ice stand on the opposite wall and a fries stand right there. And then what we'll do is we'll have this pattern go the opposite direction and we'll make sure that we've got stuff that we can fit in here. So there's a pins there and a balloon store, which we'll put down there as well. And then a couple of extra bits. So the horse carousel is going to be our first room and we'll put that coming off this entranceway here. There we have it. Right, now this we can actually get rid of now. So if we go back to our spaces and just remove that, then we've got that little area of water feature going in there, and then they can enter the horse carousel right there, which is really cool. That's a good start. So let me just finish off putting in a few extra bits and pieces here. So we've got some small buildings that we can put in, a cleaning building there, and then we'll put a toilet there and another toilet facing the opposite direction, which fills in that entire section, which is pretty cool. Obviously, it looks pretty boring, but we're going to figure that out as we get a bit more money in. The next phase is to put in some bigger rides. So these come in the form of our ride halls, and they are large halls that you can decorate freely later on. Obviously, I'm just going to put in some basic themes that we already have unlocked so that we can get started. So we'll put one ride hall there and another one right there. Then, the great thing about this game is For now, we just have blueprints. So I'm going to take the alpha-based blueprint and apply that there, which automatically puts in a really nice theme for the entire room. And we'll put Dark City in here as well. And that brings our attractiveness score to 150 or above. Next up, we want to put some rides in here. So we're going to enter our hall. And then once we load in, I can show you some of the extra bits and pieces you can do in here. So here you can put decorations on. They all have a theme. So if we go with city here, which is what we've already got, you can then add in these extra items. And you can see right here, we get a nice little split of what we can feature in here. So the themes will show up here. So what we want to do here then, you can change the theme of the hall, but we've already got that space theme in. But as you can see, you've got a number of different backdrops and stuff you can have in the hall. You can change your fencing on every level of the structure there, and you can change your floor. Of course, we're not going to do any of that because this theme is great. I believe it's one that won a competition, and we currently have 2 rides unlocked here, so we can put in Salto, and it should match quite nicely with the rest of the theme. Then we will leave the hall, taking us back out to our main area, and that hall is now ready to open, and we can have guests going in there. And then we'll just go over to our city one here. We'll go into that hall, and we will put in our new ride in that area. Now this is the city theme, and we will put in some decoration. We don't need to actually, so that's good to go. And then we'll add in the crown and exit that. Now, everything is fully customizable, but if you want, I will go into all of those settings in a separate video. Today, I just want to get this park started. So, the most important thing now is to actually open things. So, we will put our capacity all the way up to 100%, and we will change the visitor demand. So, this adjusts your ticket price. The higher your ticket price, the more demands your customers will give you. So, I'm going to drop it down to around about just below we start getting demands in. And then you can see right here, we've got to claim that reward. We get 5 research points and 25,000. We then have to bring our park attractiveness to a score of 320, which we've already done. So we will accept that, giving us 10 research points and 50,000. Next then, we should put in our research center. So the research station is really useful in that it gives you access to better rides, better facilities. So if we go to our research menu here, you can see that will now begin generating research points at a steady rate. If we just speed things up here, you can see now that once those research stations are up and running, they will start generating points for us. Now, points come from just having guests in your park and wandering around and stuff like that. So it doesn't take long to build these up, especially if you have more than one active research building. We've now got 50 visitors in the park at the same time, so we can claim that milestone. And then if we have a look over at our research here, you can also see we have 30 research points to spend. So we are going to unlock these park essentials. We are then going to unlock these extra bits here and these extra bits here. That leaves us with 5 research points. So our next step would be looking at increasing our attractivity and getting more guests in so that we can continue hitting some milestones. And every now and then we will get a contract. If we complete the contract, we'll get some rewards, but we can also get what's called a devil's contract. Now the devil's contracts will have some sort of negative impact on your park, but often the reward is much greater. So they're the things that you need to watch out for. Currently, we have people coming in, buying stuff, using facilities, and what will happen is these facilities will gain experience, and they will then be able to be upgraded, where we'll unlock a specific perk that is completely randomized. It might be increased attractivity, better staff management, higher prices, all of that sort of stuff. And eventually, once you research up enough, you will be able to get some extra pricing management unlocked. If we go over here, here we go, we've got a new contract. So if we have 25 visitors with a positive reaction free, we'll get 15,000. Build 1 hall with the theme nature. Create 1 tag of type salty. So I'm going to take that on. We're then just going to slow things down and have a look in our tags here to our buildings. We've got popcorn, which you can see there at the bottom has a sweet, salty, snack and food tag. But I've got new stuff here, so I want to see if I can get something salty from here. And it doesn't look like I can. Not even waffles will do. So it looks like our choices are fries or popcorn. I'm going to take fries, and we are going to put it, we'll just stick it down here at the entrance, and that completes that objective. Now, what I will then do is I'll just get rid of this because we don't actually need it. So there it goes. We lost a bit of money in doing that, but we did manage to complete that contract, and that gave us some experience that increased our demand level. So the more we satisfy that, the higher our demand level will go up. Now, our demand level is important because it allows us to unlock new research. If we have a look over here, demand level 2 there will unlock a series of new things for us. And this is basically it. It's really nice. It's really chilled out and idle. You can just let things kind of run at a high speed. Nothing really goes down as long as you're managing things carefully. And yeah, it's a really cool, calm and relaxing game. It's not too stressful. You don't have a great deal of financial issues that you run into as long as you are doing things in like an appropriate way. And yeah, it's I've had a lot of fun playing it. We do also have roller coaster halls. Now, our roller coaster halls can go right up here. They are huge though, so you do need to be very mindful of where you place them. And we can actually build the roller coaster completely, very much in the same way as you are able to with the likes of Planet Coaster. I'm going to actually move this hall over here to this back room. Pop it down there. And then I'm going to move this hall here. And then we'll put in a basic pathway that runs down here. We'll have another little fork coming out there. And then one going all the way along here. We'll put a little area in there as well. We can fill that in with some buildings and then run this all the way up to the top here. And I'll leave that empty for now. And then we'll go into our roller coaster hall. Hopefully we'll have something already set up that we can just plop in because, again, I don't really want to build the roller coaster from scratch, but it looks like I'm not going to have a choice. Yeah, I think I'm going to have to build this one myself. So, we will leave that for now. We'll come back and develop our roller coaster hall another time. Unless I can find a blueprint for a coaster this way. Ah, yes, we can. Right. What can we put in? I want a space-themed one. Let's go with Galactic Launch. See how much that is. Oh, that's an expensive coaster. Mission Mercury, is that any cheaper? That is cheaper. So, once we get a bit more money in, I will add that coaster in. Oh, we now have enough. Let's apply Mission Mercury, and there it goes. That coaster is now in place, and we'll start running. So that's really cool. So it's really nice that there's a nice little selection of blueprints. A lot of them were winners for challenges that the devs put on. And some of them, like this one here, are really, really good. So we already have people using it. Oh, no, we don't at the moment. Nobody is coming in there yet. But hopefully, we'll have a few people starting to use that coaster. And that can start bringing in some big bucks for us. We've got 10 research points. So I'm just going to head on over here. And we will unlock. We can't unlock any of them. Can't unlock that either. So we'll just hang fire for now. But yes, we've got a nice little start there. People are starting to use this roller coaster now by the looks of things. Oh, no, maybe not. No visitors. Right. Is anybody going to go to this roller coaster and use it? Oh, we have one. They really like how well decorated it is, but they've just walked off. Oh, one has gone in. We've got one on there. Amazing. Right, our roller coaster is up and running. So, let's have a look over here. Visitors 28 there and 14 there. So currently, we only have a capacity of 100 visitors. And until we unlock a car park upgrade, there's nothing we can do about that. Now, if I go to our research tab here, fun for everyone, I think, is what we need to be getting to so we can increase the size of our car park. And then we've got all of these decorative objects that we can unlock. But what we need to do is get to demand level 2. Now, the best way to improve your demand level is by allowing more demands to come in for your guests. So we're going to boost our ticket price to 30. That'll give us 13% chance of visitor upset and a medium number of demands. But, like I said, the more demands that we have, the more experience we'll get from dealing with those demanding customers. So as long as we can satisfy their demands, we'll get plenty of experience and get to our next demand level as quickly as possible. So what we can do here, we can add in some new upgrades, as you can see here. So nice waiters will give 10 plus 10 patience for each visitor. A register robot will decrease the handling time by 25%, and an improved structure will decrease the wear by 50%. I am going to take on the register robot, so our handling time can be reduced in there. And then, of course, over here, solar panels will reduce the upkeep cost to 0, 5 quality influence if we bring in a star chef, and again, decreased wear rate by 50%. So in this one, I think what I'll do is I will bring in a star chef to work in our fries shop. And then over here, I'm going to take the... let's go with a register robot. I think we're okay on money, but here we go. We have lose 20,000 money. I'm actually going to grab that. So we've lost some money, but gained a nice jump to our experience in our demand level. Right, over here again, I'm going to grab the register robot to reduce the handling time even further from the balloon store. And we are almost at our attractiveness score. So, with what little money we've got, let's start making a few changes and putting in some decorative items within our park here. Now, we can put in the little columns here, which will give a nice impression bonus. Or we can put something like the queues, or I think that's like a miniature golf. Okay, we don't have money to do that. Yeah, it's 6k. Can we put a pillar in there? Yes, we can. Where does that take us? Still keeps our attractiveness rating pretty low, but get another one in. Almost have enough for another one. I don't think this is going to help bring our attractiveness score up, though. So we'll just have to hold off for a little bit. And hopefully we'll get that demand level, the accumulate a total visitor experience of 300. And that will certainly help us push it over a little bit more. Right, we've got the pillars in there and they don't seem to have helped at all. I'm going to increase my prices a little bit. We'll take that up to 40. And that should, we've once again got upgrades here. So let's bring in shiny facade to improve the impression of our park. That might actually give us enough. Not quite, but I certainly think it's taking us somewhere. And as you can see, things are looking pretty nicely. We've got really happy customers here, which means we can actually keep our prices pretty high. In fact, let's take it all the way up to here. Oh no, that's too high. We'll leave it at around about 46 for the entry fee, and then hopefully our guests won't be impacted too much. You can see that happiness rating is starting to drop down a little bit, but I think we should be able to keep going with this. And the money is certainly starting to accumulate a lot faster. We now have 10 research points. I think we may have had 10 beforehand, but you can see we're generating very slowly. But it's all looking pretty good, although we have just dropped into debt because of our upkeep costs. But guests, again, remain 90% happiness ratings, which is interesting. That might actually give me an opportunity to boost this up even further. I'm going to take it to there, just below the high demand threshold. And we'll see how much of an impact that has on us, because we don't want to get ourselves into a bit of a pickle with our finances. But we are getting a nice little bit of money coming in, and we are starting to hit our milestones as well. So we're going to leave this, and I think we'll just jump ahead a little bit once I've made a bit of money. And we'll, if you can see just up at the top there, on our day, we've got 43 days that have already passed since we created this park. So what I'll do is we'll jump ahead and we'll have a little chat once we've got a little bit more money in the bank, and we can see where we're going to go from there. Alright, so we've hit our new milestones and we have now unlocked the next tier of research. Now, if we have a look over here, we've got 55 research points as well. We can now unlock fun for everyone. And then, I think, where is it? Oh, it's here, park improvements. I'm looking at the wrong thing. So, park improvements, we have unlocked an increased park capacity there, and then for 5 research points, we can increase it even further. And then for 15, we can boost it even further, which is great. Now, this also unlocks price settings for all of our restaurants, so we'll grab that. And then down here, grants. So if we add 10 research points, we can essentially swap them for 100,000 money. But everything's looking much better now. We've also added in the darts and the can throwing. So these introduce things like prizes, and we've also unlocked that price adjustments per customer. So we can swap those around. We've now got over 180 visitors in our park at the same time, which means more money. And having unlocked that upgrade to the car park, you can see cars are starting to fill this place up a lot quicker. And obviously the car park will expand all the way around here eventually, I would imagine. But you can see things are starting to move pretty nicely. We've got over 100,000 in the bank, which is also enough for us to build a new expansion to our park, if I can find the right tab for it. Is it here? That's a hub hall, which we haven't yet unlocked, but like lots of stuff to unlock, you can see. If I have a quick look over at our stuff, where is it? Where is it? Roller coaster halls. What's this one again? Ah, there we go. Purchase land. So we can buy some more land. I'm going to buy right up here for 100k. Or should we go that way? No, we'll expand out this way. Now, that park tile, we can now start moving things around and trying to adjust things. But I'm going to leave that until next episode. This has been a good start, and I think I'm starting to get the hang of things a little bit quicker than when I was in the tutorial. So the next item, if we were to expand again... Oh, there we go. 50 visitors with the positive reaction, beautiful. Lose 15,000 money and 10 research for some experience from there. But that does increase research progress for each visitor as well. Ah, right, so that's triggering an event. Right, build 3 halls with different themes. And over here, 50 visitors with the positive. Let's get that one. We should hopefully get that when they see some of our wonderfully decorated halls, but that might not happen. And then we've got a few upgrades here. So I'm going to take solar panels again just to increase that, and we'll go with increased attractiveness radiation in the radius. And again, I'll take solar panels here. Reducing the upkeep of all of our buildings is a really good idea. We're 10% of the way to that one, so I think we can do that. Anyway, what I was saying was if we did want to buy more land, it's going to cost us more money. So the amount of money you spend on each plot of land increases gradually. Now, because we are starting to get some decreased happiness with the influx of new customers, I am going to drop down my ticket prices to around about 35. Just to give me a little bit of leeway with queues and stuff that'll start to form. And next episode, we will develop a few things and maybe work on our own theme. So I hope you've enjoyed this little intro to Indoorlands as much as I've enjoyed coming back to the game after only completing the tutorial. We had talked about doing this on stream a few times, but it never quite got the vote. So I hope just doing a little video of it can help you get a little bit of a feel for this quaint little simulator game that has a lot of customizable options, which I will go into at a later date. So thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.